Mm. Hi, if you're just joining us, thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about the free endowment competition. We're going to give a couple minutes to let people join us from the different platforms. So we're just going to sit here for a few minutes and then we'll get started on our presentation for the day. There will be a time for questions and answers. You also can chat, put into the chats of whatever platform you're watching us on. Just put your questions and we will get to them either during the presentation or right at the end. So if you're watching from LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram Live, you can just go ahead and put those questions directly in there. It will be able to answer them. So we're just going to sit here for a couple minutes, allow some other individuals to kind of join us, and then we'll get started. So thanks again. I'm Jenny Young. I'm the owner of Brooklyn Robot Foundry. And we are going to be talking about a really exciting opportunity called the Free Endowment Competition. We'll start this presentation in just a couple minutes. So if you're just joining, go ahead and kind of sit tight. We'll probably start the presentation in just a couple minutes. If you have any questions as we're talking, feel free to ask those questions in any of the chats, wherever it is that you're watching us. So we're just going to sit here for just a couple minutes and wait for additional individuals to join. We'll probably get started in a couple minutes. If you're just joining us, I'm Jenny Young. I'm the owner of Brooklyn Robot Foundry, and we're here to talk about a really exciting opportunity we have called for endowment. We'll just start the presentation in a couple minutes. We're waiting for others to join. Thanks so much for joining. If you have any questions today during the presentation, go ahead and ask those in the chat of whatever platform you're using to watch us, and we'll be able to answer those at the end. There will be a Q&A portion as well. We'll get started in a couple minutes. As we're waiting, let's see if we can go ahead and ask some fun questions. If you have joined us and you're ready to start this presentation, why don't you tell us where you're from? Just go ahead and put into the chat and let us know where you're joining us from today. I am in Manhattan in New York City. So hi, everyone. I'm Jenny Young. I'm the owner of Brooklyn Robot Foundry. Thanks for joining us today. We'll get started in just a minute or two. If you have any questions as this presentation goes, go ahead and put them into the chat. We'll probably start in about 1 minute. But in the meantime, go ahead and put into the chat where it is that you're joining us from, so we know. I'm here in lovely New York City. Hi, if you've just joined us, I'm Jenny Young. I'm the owner of Brooklyn Robot Foundry. We're here talking about our free endowment competition today, which is a really exciting competition. We're going to go through the details. We'll start the presentation in just a couple minutes. Go ahead and put in the chat of whatever platform it is that you're watching us on. Go ahead and put in there where you're joining us from. We'll get started in just a minute or two. Thanks again for joining. If you're just joining us, I'm Jenny Young, and I am the owner of Brooklyn Robot Foundry. I think it's time to get started. So let's look at the agenda for the day. This webinar is going to be, here's the agenda for the webinar. We're going to give you an overview of the competition. I'll talk to you about who the judges are, and then we'll have time for question and answers at the end, as well as next steps and how to apply and all of that goodness. Go ahead and type your questions into the comments wherever it is that you're watching us from, or if you're watching from LinkedIn or from Instagram or wherever, go ahead and type any questions you have in there. And then my team member Lee will pull all those questions together and she'll make sure that we answer them. So you can ask the questions anytime you want during the presentation. So again, my name is Jenny Young. I'm the owner of Brooklyn Robot Foundry, and I'm here to talk about something that we call the Frandowment competition. It's a really exciting opportunity. We'll talk more about it in a second. But I'm going to start by giving you an overview of who we are as a business, and then a little bit more about the competition. So what is Brooklyn Robot Foundry? So this is a fun slide, and this is what we do. We build fun. And what you see on this slide is pictures of really cute children building really fun projects with huge smiles on their faces. So that's a big part about what we do is we make engineering, we make science, technology, engineering, and math not be scary. We make it be really fun. And we're really good at that. Tell you a little bit about myself. It's always funny talking and having a slide with your own pictures all over it. But I'm Jenny Young. I'm the founder and the CEO of Brooklyn Robot Foundry. Who am I and why did I do this? So I grew up in Ohio. I grew up with a big garage. My dad is an engineer. My mom is really good with her hands. We were always building stuff. We were always taking things apart, putting them back together. I learned at an early age how to use all different types of machines and making things in the garage. In high school, I went a lot. Every summer, I would go out with my church and we would do big building projects, kind of like Habitat for Humanity. I have all the skills, although not necessarily an expert on how to build a house. So I know how to do roofing and foundation work and drywalling and pretty much anything that you would need to make a house. The house might not be the most perfect house, but I do know how to do all that. So my childhood of making and taking things apart, my kind of fed into what my high school experience was, where I was like really building kind of large scale things. I then went to Purdue University for college, and I got my degree in mechanical engineering. And one of the things that I did while I was at Purdue to be able to pay for college is I worked at the student machine shop. And my job was to train all the other engineering students on how to build things and how to use the machines and how to make stuff with their hands. And one of the things that I recognized while I was in college is that my upbringing and the way I was raised made me a better engineer. It made me realize that in order to design good products, you have to understand how those products are made. Also, my childhood was spent having a lot of trial and error. I would try to make projects and they wouldn't necessarily always work and things would break. And you would just know that that is a big part of the design process and of the engineering process of trying out new things. And that was something that I brought with me to the student machine shop. And it was something that I was realizing that a lot of my student counterparts did not have. And so that made me realize that my childhood was different. And it made me have some, pretty interesting experiences that other people didn't have. So I launched the business about 11 years ago. We launched it at Maker Fair in Queens. If anyone's from Queens, you should do a big shout out to Queens. If you're from Queens, go ahead and put that in the comments. But we launched it in Queens at Maker Fair at the New York Hall of Science. And we sold out by the time the fair was over for our first classes. So we knew, this is a good idea. People want to do this. So I've been running the business for 11 years. And then this year we decided we launched our franchising division. So not only am I the founder and CEO, I am now officially a franchisor. And that is what this presentation is about today, is explaining what is our franchise offering. So one of the things we thought about as we were trying to expand the company is how do we articulate what our mission is as a company, so that as we are looking for franchisees, they really understand, like, what is it that you're trying to do? So here is our mission, and I'm going to talk about kind of the big important parts of it. So our mission is that we are launching tomorrow's creative leaders by providing awesome programs that kids want and parents need. So the thing that I want to really focus on in this presentation is this fact of creative leaders. And you might think, okay, a creative leader, she's talking about the students. And we definitely are trying to figure out ways to empower the little ones to build and create and do things. But we also think about this as our teachers. How could we ensure that our teachers feel like that they can be creative leaders and they can bring their whole selves to the business? And now with the idea that we are franchising, we are thinking about our future franchisees. How can we launch those creative leaders into business ownership? And what is the right way to do that? So that is what our mission is. So that's our mission. That's great. But the other thing that's really important about our company is that we have a very, very strong culture. And so when I was thinking about expanding through franchising, I wanted to figure out how can I articulate what that culture is so that it's quantifiable, so that there is a document, a thing that we can go back to when we say, who is it that we are as a business? So we did this really interesting exercise with our whole company, and we got on this Zoom because that's where we all are now in Zoom. And we did something called a jam board. And we said, all right, team, everyone post onto this board, what are the things that are most important to you about the culture of our business? Because we need to solidify what those values are. And so this is what we came up with. These are the values of the company. And all of these words that you see kind of in these bubbles in this pretty chart are words and things that our team members put out to say, this is the thing that is important about the company. And then we realized that they can be grouped into these different groups. So I'm going to kind of walk you through what those groups are. So the first value that we have is we are customer focused. So we have a lot of compassion for the customers. We care about the customers. We want to, we think a lot about accessibility for the customers. How can we be respectful and friendly of the customers? And we're always really thinking about how can we bring those customers joy? The next one, which I think has the most extra little bits in it, is people first. So this was something that was really important to me, which is how can we create a culture and a business that really puts the people first? How can we ensure that we are an inclusive company? How can we ensure that we are a diverse company? How can we have compassion for each other? How can we have transparency and honesty and be able to learn from each other? And know that we are all working as a community with a common goal. So that's what we think about a lot when we think about people first. And when we get these franchisees in, we are also looking for individuals that care about these values and really care about that people first value in particular. That people first value kind of goes nicely into the next one, which is empowerment. So it's not just empowerment for the kids, it's empowerment for the teachers, and it's empowerment for the franchisor, the franchisee. It's empowerment for us as like the universal team. So we talk a lot about learning from our mistakes, a lot of trial and error. That was, again, how I was raised as a child. Perseverance, embracing failure, running towards problems, resilience. So we talk a lot about anytime something goes wrong and things go wrong, what can we learn from it? Nobody is in trouble for making mistakes. We are just thinking about it as a process and an empowerment side of it. Hands-on creativity. So we use our fingers to build robots. It's really fun. It's a lot about experience over instruction, creative thinking, doing it together. Kind of that hands-on learning, I think, is really important, and it is something that is just missing in our children's. I have two children. I have a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old. Almost, he's 7 on Saturday, and within their school systems, they don't get to do a lot of hands-on stuff. So that's something that's really important for us. And then we're going to roll up right here into thoughtful innovation. So I'm an engineer at heart. I love processes. I love embracing the impossible. I love creating systems. I also love funny robots. So one of the ways that we know a robot is good when our design team comes up with a robot is if it makes us laugh. So our projects are fun, but they also figure out ways to teach really hard engineering concepts to kids. It's a very innovative culture that we have. And then what you see in the middle is fun. So that was the first slide we said is, we build fun. And we feel that fun can go throughout all of these other values. So we have a sense of whimsy, silliness, and that we believe that learning is fun. And we believe that that is a way as well to diversify the STEM field by teaching people that engineering is not scary. It's actually kind of goofy and it can be fun. And you can learn so much from that fun. It just makes it, less intimidating. So if you look at this slide and you're like, wow, these really align with kind of who I am as an individual, then you're in the right spot. And then we should talk more. If you want to go ahead and put in the comments in any of the platforms, what are the things that kind of jump out to you? And what are the things that really feel that you are connected to as well? We would love to know those things. So what is this thing that we are franchising? We have toyed with the mobile business model and also a brick and mortar model. And one of the things that we've realized over the last 11 years is that the mobile business model is much more profitable and much easier to extend and expand without being like tied down to this physical brick and mortar space. So the thing that we are franchising is a mobile business model. So what does that mean? It means that you get to create a classroom anywhere. You get to go to where the students are, and then you have this captive audience. So you bring the classroom wherever it is that the students are, and we will give you the materials and the lesson plans in order to teach these sessions to the kids. In the last 11 years, we've designed 1,000 different robots. The franchising curriculum has 500 of the best projects, and the curriculum is so expansive that if you get a student, a customer in at the age of 2, they can follow along with the franchise curriculum for 7 years without repeating any projects. So that's a really long lifetime value for the customer. So you create the classroom wherever it is, you go to where the kids are. We give you the materials and the lesson plans. And then what you see in the end is you get robot building happiness. So back to that fun slide, look at this little kid's face. She has made a tree. It is awesome. It's got decorations on it, and she is smiling because she is happy. So that is what it is. You get to bring fun and happiness to kids every day. Okay, so now you're like, well, this sounds really good. I align with those values. I want to bring fun to kids. What does it mean? What are you guys looking for when you're thinking about future franchisees? So we want to talk about, well, who is the perfect fit for a franchisee for a Brooklyn Robot Foundry? If you're just joining us, sorry, I should have said this before. I'm Jenny Young. I'm the owner of Brooklyn Robot Foundry, and we are here talking about this incredible franchising opportunities that we have, in particular a pitch competition, which we'll get to in just a second. So going back to this slide, here, who is the perfect fit for a franchisee? So we are looking for people who are leaders. We are looking for people who are leaders in their community. We're looking for people who are really well connected in their community and kind of are like the go-to people for, if a new person moves to town, you would be the one that people would go to say, oh, talk to them. They really know all the ins and outs of our community and our area. We're also looking for a kid who's a youth enthusiast. So you gotta like kids. This programming starts at age 2. That's right, age 2, and it goes all the way up through adult, but most of it's going to be elementary age kids. So you got to enjoy kids and all their fun little quirks and the joys that you got from working with little kids. Purpose driven as well. So a big part of what we're trying to do is to diversify STEM. We want to figure out ways to empower little kids to feel like they can make a difference in their life. We aren't necessarily going to create just engineers, but we want to create problem solvers, and we want to create people that realize that they can make a difference and really empower students. You have to be a great communicator. You're going to be going out to your community. You're going to be finding new business. You have to have good written communication and good verbal communication as well. And you have to be a good communicator with us because, what we pointed back to is that we are always trying to iterate our processes and improve upon it. And we are looking for people that will have that dialogue with us and will work with us to even further improve this amazing system that we've created. You also have to be fun loving. We laugh a lot. Like that is really the culture of the business. We have that fun in the middle. So you have to kind of fit in with that as well. And the last thing is you have to be a maker. Now, you don't have to be a robot maker because that doesn't matter. We can teach a 5-year-old how to build robots. We can definitely teach you how to build robots, but you have to be somebody who uses their fingers to do things. You have to be, maybe you're a baker, maybe you're you're a home chef or a cook, or maybe you play musical instruments. Maybe you are a visual artist. But we are looking for people that are typical people that would typically use their hands to do things in their life and like it and enjoy that type of thing. All right. So if anybody just joined us, we are now talking about this amazing Frandowment competition. It's a pitch competition that we're doing. So here we are, Frandowment competition. What is it? The free endowment competition is that we are going to be awarding one fee-free franchise in spring of next year to a deserving individual. So we're looking for individuals that have all of these characteristics, but maybe not buckets of money in order to pay for those initial franchise fees and the startup costs of starting a new business. So this pitch competition it's 4 rounds. Your initial application is due December 1st of this year. That's a hard deadline. And then there's going to be these rounds of kind of filtering through applications. I'll talk about all the judges, but we have a panel of amazing judges from all these different verticals who will be looking at the things that you submit, and then we'll be filtering it down into one lucky winner. So there's going to be a marketing challenge is the first challenge. There's going to be a business plan challenge. And then the last challenge is that you will be running an event. We will help you, don't worry, but that will be the final challenge of the day. And then in April of next year, we will be announcing one winner. And that winner will win a fee-free franchise. So what that means is that we are waiving the initial franchise fee, which is $30,000. We are giving you your initial inventory. So all the stuff that you need for your office for the shelves of the parts and the shelves, you'll get all of that. We are waiving your 1 year of your initial royalty fees, the first year of tech fees, and the first year of marketing fees. So what it means is that you will be able to start a business, and a very successful business. This is a business that we've been doing for 11 years. You're going to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We're going to be there every step of the way, but you don't have to have any of that initial investment. That's a very exciting thing. It's not something that franchisors typically do. And we wanted to really launch our franchising opportunities in a big way. And this was our big way to do it. So who are those judges? What are they going to be looking at? What types of things do these judges know about? So we have a panel of 7 judges, and the judges are from across multiple disciplines. So I'm a judge. We have other judges like multiple of these individuals know a lot about franchising. So they'll be thinking about things in terms of franchising. We have individuals that focus on diversity. We have individuals like Beth, who is a technology expert who works at Google. We have lots of individuals who have really great marketing chops. And then we have individuals like Sheila, who run humongous events and think a lot about how do you do events and event management and doing things like that. So we have judges from all over, from different verticals, different spaces, but who know all different types of things. And so we'll be looking at it through the lenses of these 7 people's eyes. Okay. So we are now to the point where we can get any questions and answers. If you are joining us and you have questions about our free endowment, please go. If you have questions about our free endowment, or if you just have questions about our franchising in general, those are fine too. Feel free to ask those questions in the comments on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type those questions in for us right now. I'm just going to see if we got any questions. We'll just give you a minute or two. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and put them into your comments of those sections. The other thing you can do if you don't want to ask any questions in a more public place, if you're more of a private person, or if it feels like more of a personal question, you can always ask us at franchise@brooklynrobotfoundry.com, franchise@brooklynrobotfoundry.com, and we'll be able to answer your questions that way. You are probably joining because right. Okay. There is a question about where is there a geographical location that you have to be in order to win the free endowment? And yes, there is. You have to be within 3 hours of New York City. So that basically means Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or New York, because we want to be able to get to you, to help you as you are starting up this business. We want to be there to really be able to support you. So again, you will be in business for yourself, but absolutely not by yourself. And our goal is to be as supportive as possible. We have another question as, does it help if I enter sooner rather than later? Doesn't actually matter. You can enter as soon as you want, but there is a hard deadline of December 1st. So all applications do have to be in by December 1st in order to be eligible. I'm going to show you. Let's see if we have any other questions. Okay. And again, if you have any questions for us, you can go ahead. Lee, if you don't mind, if you would just put in the email address into the different comments spaces on the different platforms, you can email us at franchise@brooklynrobotfoundry.com, and we'll type those into the comments so that everybody has that email address. You can always just reach out directly to that email address, and we would answer any questions that you do have. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to just tell you next steps. So the next steps are, the due date is December 1st for our initial, you have to apply by December 1st. Your initial application has to be in by December 1st. And the candidates will be announced on December 13th. And then again, we'll have round 2, will be marketing and building challenge. You're going to build your own little robot. It's going to be goofy and fun. Then round 3 is a business plan challenge. And then round 4 is that event challenge, with the final selection happening in April. So if you have any questions, if you feel like you'd be a great fit, please reach out. Let us know what your questions are. If you go to, maybe Lee, if you could also just post into the link directly on our website to the free endowment page on our website. If you haven't yet, go ahead and fill out that form on that web page. That form, once you fill out that form, we'll send you all the details that explain exactly how to apply. So you do have to fill out that form so that we can send you the rules and everything, and all of the information about what precisely you need to do to apply by December 1st. And once you do that, you can always reply back to that email with any questions that you might have. So I think that is it. Hold on, let me just see anything else that I need to answer. And then I think we can just wrap it up. But thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm Jenny Young with Brooklyn Robot Foundry. We're really excited by this opportunity that we are calling the Free Endowment. And we really look forward to interviewing you and meeting you after December 1st, once you apply. We're really excited by this opportunity. We're excited to meet you. Thanks so much for joining us, and please let us know if you have any questions at all. Thank you.